Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to the papers because we have quite a number of them. And starting off with the Nation newspaper, the big story there, well, there are a lot of them. One of them reads, Democracy, best option, Tinubu declares as Okpebholo steps in. Archbishop of Canterbury, Welby, quits. EFCC arrests Wabote over alleged 35 million naira fraud. Government to pay 66 billion naira to federal pensioners next month. Ex-workers protest in the meantime. And another story is 40% of 2024 NECO candidates may not get admission. This Nigeria now. Edo, it's a new day as Monday Okpebholo takes over. Governor promises to tackle insecurity, health, education, and other areas. The president charges him work for Edo people. Nigeria records 6.5 trillion naira trade balance in the second quarter of the year, says Shettima. FCT Minister Wike assures residents on Saburi Day Road completion, says Tinubu's renewed hope agenda alive. And tackle fuel exchange rate crisis, media survival, editors urge government. Silent Times is next. Your welfare is priority. We will not betray you, Governor Okpebholo assures Edo people. Why we experience frequent national grid collapse, the FCC says. Saudi Crown Prince commends Tinubu over economic reforms. Davido reconciles with Eniola Badmus. All this and more on the front page of Silent Times. Another one there, Lagos sexagenarian bags life imprisonment for defiling 11-year-old girl. On the Punch now, Shettima leads APC mega rally as Governor Ajayi camps alleged rigging plot. Parties inspect sensitive materials today. Atiku campaigns for Ajayi. Ajashin's son backs governor. Ipman members load petrol 990 naira to the liter. Army buries Lagbaja Friday. FG governors, LGs sign agreement. All this and more on the front page of the Punch. Nigerian News Direct now. APC PDP fight dirty over alleged plots to manipulate election as PDP insists on redeployment of REC over alleged APC ties. Of course, it's been a back and forth. APC is engaging people with development projects, not manipulation. That's a retort from the APC camp. ASO accuses international bodies of plotting to undermine Nigeria's public universities. Contractors supplying substandard materials responsible for frequent grade collapse. Okay, that's from EFCC Chairman Olukoyede. To the Hope now, Ayedatiwa inaugurates 32.7-kilometer road in Ondo Riverine area. Beneficiary residents of Alakwe Araromi in Ilaje area ecstatic. I'm constructing landing jetties in 18 communities and other areas. Oyebanji rallies Ekiti. Indigent support for Ayedatiwa. Court adjourns Ekiti Oba's trial. Ondo Labour and government agree on new salary table. Platform Times now. NSA defense chiefs losing sleep over insecurity, says Interior Minister. 64-year-old man sentenced to life in prison for raping 11-year-old girl in Lagos. Minister Bosun Tijani to deliver the TASWA 16th convocation lecture. And Mapoli students protest 10,800 tax clearance fee amid economic strain. New Telegraph now, the last paper with me, on the issue of Lokarawa's containment operation begins as security agencies get marching order to crush group. NTAA bans pilots crew flying for 2 airlines. Shettima is quoted as saying FG's reforms raise Nigeria's trade balance to 6.9 trillion naira. In the same vein, bank recapitalization will boost financial inclusion. That's according to CBN Governor Oluyemi Cardoso. Adopt Senator Kalu as consensus candidate in 2027. That's an advice. President orders state burial for late Chief of Army Staff Taurid Lagbaja. Alleged 1.3 trillion naira fraud. EFCC yet to establish any case against former Governor Okowa of Delta State. And ahead of Saturday's election in Ondo, Ajayi has what it takes to transform Ondo, says Atiku. All this and more in the paper so far.
But I begin here with the Daily Trust, and the big story here is bandits burn maize farms in Kaduna. A means of livelihood gone, farmers says. Attack can worsen food shortage, drive up prices. We're probing the incident. The police is responding to this. Zamfara youth protests at DSS headquarters over bandit attack. 16 manufacturing firms lost 792 billion naira to naira depreciation. That's according to the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. In Edo State, Okpebholo was sworn in as governor, appointed Oshiomhole son as commissioner. A sad one here, 10 die in Jigawa road crash. Some stories on the front page of the Daily Trust. To the first news, Nigeria battles deadly Lassa fever, meningitis outbreaks. Over 500 deaths reported across 28 states, 1,035 Lassa fever, 300 meningitis cases confirmed. President Tinubu orders state burial for late Chief of Army Staff. New permanent secretary is eminent as federal government begins rigorous selection. Corruption in power sector costs of frequent outages, the EFCC chair says. Equatorial Guinea government sues Baltasar Gungar over leaked scandal tapes. Interesting. In Edo State, Okpebholo assures Edo resident, we will not let you down. Some stories on the front page of the first news. To the Vanguard on the minimum wage. State in panic mode over NLC's December 1 strike notice. Over 12 states implementing new wage. Other states yet to implement. Some states remain silent on the implementation, and others failed to give a commencement date. Some other states have also promised to pay at the end of November. World Bank, IMF determined to destroy our varsity system, ASU says. Under election, PDP APC trade words over plans to compromise polls. Some stories on the front page of the Vanguard. To the Guardian, Utah offers hope for weak naira amid negative forecast. House of Reps 6 review of mining consent process as collapse site kills 13 in Plateau State. That's an unfortunate one there. IPAC attacks INEC security agencies on neutrality. Okowa says, I have nothing to hide. OPEC projects lower oil demand as Nigeria's production stagnates at 1.4 million. Some stories on the front page of The Guardian. To the blueprint, Nigerians groaning despite low landing cost of petrol. Market is exploiting citizens. NLC says competition will drive down price. The federal government diversification trade policies boost export growth to 6.9 trillion naira. No Kebbi village under control of bandits, an official here says. In Benue, the government has approved 30.2 billion naira for rural roads. Some stories on the front page of the blueprint. To Nigerian Tribune, manufacturers grown as naira flow deepens forex crisis, highlight soaring exchange rate at 1,900 naira per dollar is key driver of sector's challenges. 16 major firms incur 792 billion naira loss. A report here says Nigeria pursues $5 billion trade facility from Saudi Arabia. Some stories on the front page of Nigeria Tribune. To the leadership, federal government borrows 18.65 trillion naira in 12 months. Hardest economic days behind us. Tinubu assures Nigeria. Epileptic power supply in the north may last longer. Single circuit supply in the northwest. Connection base unavailable. $1.661 billion for infrastructure. Mismanaged. EFCC beams searchlight on discos. These are the major stories on the front page of the leadership. To the Daily Times, corruption behind frequent national grid collapse. EFCC says President Tinubu honors Sarawiwa Ogoni Martyrs. ASU accuses the World Bank, IMF of undermining Nigeria's public universities. And Edo State Okpebholo Idahosa sworn in as governor and deputy. To the Business Times, Nigeria must move beyond extraction to unlock sector's profits. Alake says the federal government is positioning Nigeria as a formidable player in global mineral value chain. NSC pledges food security, climate resilience, innovations. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria seeks urgent economic reforms, implementation, list high operational cost, declining consumer demand, rising inflation as challenges facing Nigeria's manufacturing sector. To Business Day, Nigerian stocks that have made investors richer in 2024. This are highlighted on the front page of the Business Day. Another story here says Kano Disco build 100 megawatt grid to protect consumers from frequent collapses. To the Nature News, COP29 host president defends oil and gas. UN Climate Board still says climate is an economy killer. CSO leaders seek adaptation finance to tackle climate crisis. Some stories on the front page of the Nature News. And finally, on Sporting Live, Arsenal contact Napoli for Osimhen. Newcastle, Chelsea, Turkish sides 2. Ekong, Lukman, Simon 19 orders to train in Abidjan on Tuesday night for Morocco 2025. Union SG takes first step to sign Bali in January. Some stories on the front page of the Sporting Life. Kemi.